Yes, sir. So, very good evening to all of you. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa is organized a World Record Series 2. So, today is the 96th day of the series, and the keynote speaker is with us today, Dr. Maheshwari Biradar Madam. So, I welcome to you, Madam, for the series. I welcome to the chief organizer of the record series, Honorable Principal M.M. Bedkar sir. I welcome to you also. Some of the colleagues from my college, IPAC coordinator Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. Karar sir, Dr. K.N. Kadam sir, Dr. Anita Dole madam, vocational supervisor Praveen Utke sir. So I welcome to you. And lastly, I welcome all those participants who join on time for the series. So today's keynote speaker is going to talk on the topic outcome-based education framework. Before the presentation, in short, I would like to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Maheshwari Biradar Madam. She is a professor from D.Y. Patil International University, Pune. So now, with this short introduction, I would like to request Honorable Keynote Speaker, Dr. Maheshwari Madam, please start your presentation on the topic Outcome-Based Education Framework. Please welcome, Madam.
Thank you, sir. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Madam. Yes.
Good evening, one and all. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, Madam.
Yes, ma'am.
As sir said, the topic I am delivering today is outcome-based education framework. What is outcome-based education? Whenever we are going to teach to the class, we'll be having some syllabus, right? So we have to, how the syllabus should be framed, what content you have to take in a syllabus, how to take the lectures. So these all depends on outcome-based program. So what do you mean by outcome-based? Whenever we are delivering some lecture or the topic, we should always first go through what is outcome of that lecture, what is outcome of that course. That's what I'm going to discuss today. The contents of the slides are motivation for curriculum design, outcome-based program curriculum, outcome-based course curriculum, course outcome, then we have the module outcomes, then we have the lecture outcomes. So as you all know, first comes the course, then the course is divided into modules, hence the module outcomes, then the module is divided into lectures, then it's a lecture outcome. Then how we are going to measure all these parameters, how the outcome is measured, that is the next topic, that is test item design. Then the learning outcomes, the CO components, performance, condition, what criteria, then how the CO understanding, what is the cognitive level of the course objective or the course outcome, some examples. So these are the contents of my today's lecture. So outcome-based education, what is that? It is a process, nothing but which involves the reconstruction of the curricular, then how we are going to assess it, and reporting practices in education which reflect the achievement of the high order learning. The high order learning means how the students are going to learn the course curricula. That's what the outcome based education is. So now will depend mainly the course credits. We have the 4 parts in the course. One is clarity of the focus, then high expectations, then how we are going to designing down. There are 2 approaches actually, top down or down top. So we are going to have the top down approach. Then we have expanded opportunities. So let us go with one by one. The clarity of the focus. Now what do you mean by clarity of the focus? We the teachers should focus on what students must know, what students must understand after teaching, how we are going to help the students to develop their knowledge, and also not only the knowledge, the skill is more important nowadays. So how we are going to develop the student's skill according to their knowledge? So when we develop the skill, automatically the personality definitely enhances. So which enable to achieve the outcome what we have already declared. So this is what the clarity of the focus. So this is the teacher component. Next we have the high expectations. Means what? We are expecting something from the students. So it means the teacher should establish high challenging standards. Always we the teachers must keep the standards very high so that our students will get benefit of that. So how we are going to benefit that? Always while delivering a lecture, we must keep the students engaged. We must give them activities. So this is what the high expectation means. Then how we are going to help the students? So we are expecting some high standards from them. So how they should achieve? So we should help the students to achieve the high expectations what we have kept. Next we have the designing down. So curriculum design always must start with the definition of the intended outcomes. So for example, in one subject, let us take the maths itself. We take the maths, we go for the syllabus design. So what is the outcome of the module 1? For example, we are taking the integration. It's the first module. So what is, when we teach the integration to the students, what is the outcome for the students? What they are going to learn? How they are going to achieve their knowledge? So this is what the how we are going to start with the design. Then all instructional designs are then made to ensure achieve this desired outcome. What this desired end here means, how we are going to achieve the end. Then we have the expanded opportunities. So expanded opportunities for the students, how the students will get the opportunities after learning the maths. For example, I have taken. So not all the learners can learn the same thing in the same way, in the same time. All the students will be having their learning capacity, their IQ, all will be different. So how we are going to gather all the students in one platform so that they get the benefit of what we teach. However, the most students can achieve high standards if they have given the appropriate opportunities. So we are the teachers, are the benefiters for the students. So these are the 4 outcomes of the four components of the outcome based education. First thing, we have to focus. We have to expect from the high expectation from the students. We have to design. Then we have to give the opportunities to the students to achieve their goal as well as our standard. Now we have the presentation. We'll start the understanding outcome based curriculum framework implementation. So now we have the outcome based program course curriculum features. These are some features of the OBE, that is outcome based education. How we are going to engage the students. For example, if you go on teaching all the theory without looking at the students, without engaging the students, so students may divert themselves. So we have to keep the students' engagement. We have to ask the question. We have to give some assignment in the class to the students. So this is one factor. Then the other feature is knowledge, skill, and the attitude of the student. Then always we have to allow the continuous improvement in the curricula. For example, we have designed some syllabus. Yes, next time we need to upgrade the syllabus. We need to go hand in hand with the industry requirement. So this is what the continuous improvement in the curricula. So better open educational resources. Always we should give the resource in advance. We should give the resources to the students. For example, we are referring some books. Okay, all the reference books should be uploaded. Then we have to always, the teaching should be most effective. So what do you mean by effective teaching here? The students who are engaged in our lectures must learn, must get the outcome of that particular lecture. Such a way we have to teach to the students. Now ensure the examination system reinforces teaching and learning. So as I said here, knowledge. So what knowledge? While going for the question paper setting, we should check, we should go for the Bloom's taxonomy. That's what the examination system reinforces teaching as well as learning. Then Always we should give the students lifelong learning. And one more thing I want to quote here is we the teachers must be always a lifelong learner. Then we should be able to teach to the large class. For example, we the teachers of the DYPIU, that is DY Patil International University, in one class we have the 150 students, 150 students. So that way we have to go for our teaching methodology. If you are teaching for the large class, if we use the chalk and talk, no, it is not useful. So you have to go with the presentation, we have to go with the tab using, so we have to go with the active teaching, we have to go with the students engagement teaching. That's what the how we must develop our skills to teach to the large class. Next, we have the course curriculum design. Useful, how we are going to design. For the teacher, how it is useful. So it provides with a clear focus on what teacher needs to teach and how much depth of teaching should be there. So we have now what we have to teach, in which depth we have to teach. So once we have what and in what depth, then we have to design how we have to teach. So once we have prepared how we have to teach, for example, we have to go for the activity, we have to go for the presentation, we can go with the MCQ test. So this, now here we derive how we are going to teach. Now once we teach, okay, we have developed what, in what depth, how to teach, then we have to evaluate the students. How we are going to evaluate the students? For example, we have, as I said, integration, differentiation we have taught. So how we are going to evaluate the students? So here, while evaluating the students, we should go with an example solving. This is the teacher benefits. Next we have for the student. So here it provides with a clear understanding what he is expected to learn from that particular topic, from that course, then we have from that particular lecture. So every lecture we have to test them. Simply teaching doesn't mean, we have to cross check how the performance of the students will be in a lecture itself, in a class itself. Then for the employer, how it is useful? It provides the future employer of such a students with a clear idea of exactly what the student has learned from the course. Not only this, as we are upgrading the syllabus, as we are adding the new concept, as we are adding the new technologies, so our students are ready for the industry. This is one of the most benefit for the employer. Okay, now we'll come to the course structure. So as I said, course here means one subject. So now here, what are the outcomes? So it increased education productivity, clarity on understanding level of the course, how the course will be made understandable for the students, then the increasing the student engagement in a class. Now we'll come to the course. For example, as I said, maths, we have taken one integration. Maths may be having integration, differentiation, many topics will be there in a course. Now, whenever we are going to start with the course, what we have to do? For example, maths, whatever the structure we have framed, for example, we have framed the 5 models, all the 5 modules outcome, overall, what the course is going to give. That's what the first point we have to go in a class. Course overview. We have to overview the course. Then once we have overviewed the course, we have to go with the course level learning outcomes. What the students are learning here. So as I said, what the students are learning, differentiation, how it is used in image processing. As I'm an engineering faculty, I correlate maths with the image processing. How that maths will be used in the image processing. Because in engineering, always first year we have the 2 maths subject. Maths 1 in first semester, maths 2 in the second semester. What is the use of maths 1 in the image processing? This is one example. So what is the learning outcomes? Then, for example, we are going for the matrices. Matrix we are going to study. So all images are placed with we are going to play with the MATLAB. All we are going to play with the pixel values, all with the matrices. That's what the learning. Then how the learning outcomes are derived, that will be done with the practice problems. So these two are correlated with each other. How the learning outcomes? To get the outcome, what we need to go. So these are, we have to correlate with each other. Then once we have done this, we have given the course, learning outcomes, we have given how we are going to how we are going to derive those outcomes. Then we'll come to the course modules. Here in some university they will say modules, in some university they will say units. Now, okay, for example, we have the 5 modules. We'll come to the first module. So now first module we have to give the introduction. For example, I am taking the subject digital communication. So first it will be always in the first chapter we are going to go for the introduction part. So what we are going to introduce in the first one, that is what the module overview. So once we have the module overview, again the same process we are going to follow. What we are going to get the outcome after learning that module. To get the module outcome, what practices, what engagement, what assessment, what we are giving, that we have to check. Then the course module learning strategy, including learning material. Always we the teachers must give in advance the material to the students. So always students reading should be thrice. As we have given already, they will read. In a class they will read, and revision they will read. So it's a perfect way of teaching. Then, so this is the module. So okay, we are given the module. Here we are given the course overview, then the modules. Then we are given the modules over here. Then each module will be splitted. For example, module 1 will be having 8 lectures. Then we have to go with the lectures content. So first always the lecture summary. What we are going to teach in the first lecture. What we are going to teach in the second lecture. That's what the lecture summary. Again the lecture outcome. Again the problems what we are going to give. So this outcomes and
पूजा करने
problems.
में राख यूज करी जाती है, जो हवन करते हैं, जो लकड़ी सामग्री डालते हैं, चावल, रोटी, जब वो जल जाती है राख
Hello?
जाती है ऐश.
I have muted him.
Okay. So how we are going to get the outcomes from what best practices. This is what the course structure. Any doubt in the course structure? Anyone please?
No, madam. Please continue. We will discuss
Okay.
at last.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, sir. Sorry. This is the course structure. Then we have the course overview. So what the course overview is? Brief on topic, each module. So this all will be used in your NAC or NBA. This is must. Outcome based. All the accreditation committees are going on the outcome based. They are going to check the students' outcome, not how we are going to deliver. That's what the NAC want. So here, brief on the topics, all the models are in each subject. Then it is mainly for the students, because the students should get the benefits. If they are benefited, then the teaching, the effects of the teaching will be fruitful. Then we have to have the paragraph on motivating students to prefer this course. For example, as I said, for example, the computer will be one branch, ENTC will be one branch. So when we go in a class, why the students must take that subject? What is the use of taking that subject? For example, we have an embedded system in a computer engineering. So what is the use of that embedded system in computer engineering branch? That we have to tell the students, we have to motivate the students that this module or this subject or this course, if you study, so you are going to get the benefits. You are going to get the benefits. For example, you can coding, you can do the coding, you can make a product. So we have to motivate the students to learn that particular course. So how this course is fit into the program, and it's important for solving engineering problems. As we all know, we have 12 attributes, right? We have 12 attributes. So once the course is over, how my course will meet these all 12 attributes. That means how it is used for solving the engineering problems and the societal problems. That is very important. So nowadays you all know the corona has taught us a very big lesson to us. So societal problems. We have faced a lot of societal problems during the corona that are all solved by designing mobile app. This is what the course attributes should be achieved. Then how course connect with the graduate attributes. Then how the application of the course in industry and technology development. This is what the course overview. Then course level learning outcomes. So course outcome must be specific, it should be a measurable, and it should be achievable. So whatever we are going to deliver the course, it should be specific. We have to measure how the result will be. So how we are going to achieve that? That should be also specified. That's what the course outcome. So student after reading, so we all know whenever we are going to design a course structure, we define COs first. So student after reading their CO must understand their major skills, how they are going to enhance, how they are going to develop their skills after studying. So how they are going to meet these COs. So this is what the CO. Next, here we have 4 to 6 outcomes for 40 hours lecture. So when I say it is 4 to 6 outcomes, if I have 5 modules, at least one course outcome for one module must be there. That's what will teach to the students. After learning, you're going to get this. How we are going to get, what is the outcome of that? That we have to design a course, at least for one course, 4 to 6 outcomes. That means for one module, one outcome should be there. Then the course outcome should be at least above cognitive level. You all know that is Bloom's taxonomy, about the knowledge, because none of the PO, that is PO, talk about the knowledge level learning. Then course outcome statement should have performance, condition, and what criteria. What is the performance level? To get the performance level, what condition we are going to get? To condition get, what criteria should be fulfilled. So they all are linked to each other. Now, how course connects with the graduate attributes? This is all taken in the previous lecture. Course level practice problems. Every CO must be associated with the test item. For example, one module, Introduction to the Communication System, we have one CO. Once we are studying the CO, so how we are going to achieve that outcome, course outcome, with respect to the course objective, that we have to practice. Give some numericals, give some practice, give some training for them. That's what the CO must be associated with the test item. There should not be any practice problem without targeting CO. So what is the first step here? As I said here, always we have to, whatever the problem, they should target the CO. That's what we want to achieve, right? Therefore, we have to always target the CO, then go according to that. That's what the top-down approach. We are going to design a mobile app. So this is our first mobile application. So mobile app, we are going to target. What is the use of that? So again, in mobile app, there are so many things. So each, we have to first go with the target achievement. Then every CO must be supported by the test problem. A single problem may be related to multiple COs, right? When we are going to say the for example, mobile application development, it may go with the matching of the more than 2-3 COs. It's okay. At least one practice problem for each CO. Practice problems will be given as an assignment. The assignment, not only the writing assignment, the assignment may be in a different way. Here in the university, we are giving the assignment in terms of project. For example, embedded subject is there. We are going to ask the students to develop some embedded system. For example, they have learned 4 chips, 8051 microcontroller, the ESP32 they have used. So using microcontroller, they have to do one project. Using embedded system, they have to do one project. This is how we are going to give the assignments. Writing assignment, I don't think so it gives much outcome. Then practice problems, problem statements can directly used to evaluate the CO attainment, because we are going to, at the end, we are going to have the CO attainment. How we are going to get the attainment? Then course module, syllabus units, how the module should be structured. Module overview. So what is the coverage of the module? How this module fit into the course? After studying that module, what are the skills developed by the students? That we have to see. Then module objectives. What is the input and methodology? For example, they have developed some skill. So now they have developed the programming skill in this module. So what is the input we should give? Means we should give the students number of problem statements for the students. Then only they can meet the developing their skills technology. That is what is the input and methodology to teach the module. Okay, if you teach them simple programming, we go and write, or for example, we go and write some program. We ourselves will do the program. This is not the method. So first we said that the student engagement. Okay, with a mathematical concept, I'll just learn, give the Python programming, that do the integration part. But after teaching the integration part, immediately we should go for the student assignment in a class itself. Okay, write a program for this. This is what here. So this is the teacher centric, how we are going to design. How this model fit into the course, skills to be developed, again the model objectives. Then module level learning outcomes, 1 to 2 learning outcomes. That means always we must focus on the skill. Now the industry required the skilled students, not the 9.1 CG, 10 CG. No, they want the skill. They will check the skill. Therefore, everywhere we are focusing on the skills developed by the students. So to make them so, first we should do the many things while giving the assignment. For example, just we want to go with the calculation of the rectangle area. We should not give A and B, calculate the area of the rectangle. No, the definition of the problem should be in such a way that I'll give one example. For example, car parking. So car parking area is this. The car measurement is this. Will that fit into that? So directly we should not calculate the area of the rectangle by giving A and B. No, the student won't develop their skills here. This is what it should be expected. Then we have the module level outcomes in with course outcome. Then again the skills. See, many times I am focusing on skills. What the skills the students are developing, that's very much important. Please focus on the skill development of the students along with the knowledge. The knowledge is developed, then the skill will be developed. Without knowledge, skill cannot be. Without skill, knowledge cannot be. Now, here how we have to go with the course models, units or the chapters. So we have 1 unit. In some book, in one unit, there may be 1 or 2 chapters. Then the module viewer, that we have discussed this. Module overview, then module learning outcome, then the practice, they are related to each other. Then the including learning material we have to give. Then we have to lecture, module lectures. For example, one module require 8 lectures. Please prepare what is we are going to teach in the first lecture, what we are going to teach in the second lecture. This is what the module lectures is. I'll show an example also if you want. Then we have the course model, learning strategy and learning material. See here, connected course outcomes, then module. These are the module, these are the course outcomes. Then how we are going to deliver the lecture? Is it by chalk and talk, presentation, experimentation, demonstration? Are we giving some industry visit, or we are going to add on some course in the syllabus? Seminar we are giving. As I said, I focus more on the project as we are engineers. We focus more on the projects because the students, while doing the project, they learn many things. Then the group activity, as I said, in the first year, they are going to do the group-wise project. So group activity is must, because in industry, they should be able to do the things in a group. So we make the students to go in a group. Then the group assignment, maybe the guest lecture we are going to arrange, then we may go give the video lectures. For example, I keep a practice. I'll give some video lectures of 5 minutes. In between, I'll put some question. There are so many technologies we are using. Edmodo is one technology. So we'll keep a video. Then in between the video, I'll put some question. Until and unless the student give the correct answer, he cannot go for the next lecture. Next content. That's what the video lecture. It gives the we can call it as a flipped classroom. So these are some measures. CO1, okay, this is one measured. LCD presentation, this is measured. Then module 1, we have chalk and talk, say we can attain. So this is some example I have given over here. So what we have to give here? Please make the students to go with the NPTEL video. I don't think so. Always the students will learn lot of things in NPTEL video because the learning assignments are very good in NPTEL video. So lecture topic to achieve the particular learning outcome. Delivery methodology must engage learner. As I said, we should not go on teaching. In between, we should assign the students. Okay, teach half an hour, but it should be very effective. Make the students engage in a class. Give them some assignment in a class itself. Then only the outcome will be very fruitful. Then instructional delivery must enhance the learning. We must focus on the learning because we want to develop the skills by upgrading their knowledge. So what we have to give in a learning resources? We must give the notes, we must give the video lectures of ours, or we find someone else videos, we can. Then in advance give the books, tell them. So one book may not have all the content. There may be a second book. So give the notes, tell them this module you have to refer from this book. Always refer the reference books. So this is what the learning resource is. Then the assessment tools. Okay, now till now what we discussed, how we are going to teach, what methodology we are using, how to teach, how to engage the students, how to get the outcome. This is all what till now we have done. Now we'll come to the assessment. How we are going to assess the students? Only asking the question in a lectures? No. So there must be an assessment parameters. So we have in our university, we have assessment tools. Each subject teacher may have their own assessment tools. But some are, for example, we have 100 marks, one semester, one subject. So what we are going to conduct in DYPIU is module 1, midterm 1 we are going to conduct. Midterm 2 we are going to conduct. Then we are going to give the lot many assignments. Then we are going to take the practical. Then we are going to take the oral. Then we are going to assess. So this is what we are following. So this we used to do in a Pune University. That is in-sem examination. Then we have the end-sem examination. Then some subjects will be having the term work. For that we need to go for the class test, or we might go with the assignment also. Then practical oral. Then maybe seminar. May not be seminar. This is an optional, but these are must. So how they are connected to this in-sem examination, what we are going to achieve, how we are going to go for the module connection. So that I have given some example. Now to be noted, what points we should note. Assessment is the method to generate data which will be used to measure. So for example, we want to measure. I will be giving you some examples how we are going to measure. Evaluate the learning outcomes. Then class tests are focused on the continuous improvement. We cannot conduct directly go with the teach all the things, then give the end semester examination. No, in between we have to take the class test so that we can enhance the continuous learning of the students. Then for example, we take a test one, some students will fail. Okay, we must call them. What is their problem? We have to understand their problem. Then focus on their weakness so that our achievement is skill development, learner centric should be our goal. Then for example, maybe this is one figure I have taken. 6 tests, 6 assignment may be helpful. For example, we have 6 modules. So every module you can take a test so that we can justify here that okay, the students have understood. By giving the assignment, we can focus that outcomes what we have achieved. So this is what the we have to do. Then we have to go with the rubrics also while assessing the data. We may go with the lecture, industry lecture, expert lecture, seminars. So there are so many learning activities. Now lecture level, overview, objective outcome and test problems. So whenever I said in the previous lecture I have given, when we start with the subject, we have to give the overview of the subject. Okay, at least that should be 1.5 or 2 pages. After overview of the subject, okay, whenever we go with a start with the module, please give the overview of that module. Okay, this module contains this, where it is applicable, how we are going to use it, what skill you are going to develop from this module, and what will be the outcome. So this we have to give overview. Maximum 2 pages of typed notes on each topic covered in each lecture. Then overview may contain derivation, principles, diagrams, and maybe the tables. Then objective and outcomes. 1 or 2 statements. Lecture outcome is what we are. So this is also said previously. Always give what is the outcome of the lecture. For example, we should tell the students, okay, today we have studied this. So what is the outcome of this? You get it from the student itself. So student will be able to do. So that's what we are going to write the outcomes, right? After completing the module 1, the students will be able to write a program. For example, after completing the module, student may be able to build an application. So this is what the lecture outcome should be. lecture outcome will be in line with the module outcome. Because see, we have developed some module outcome. So if you give something different in a lecture outcome, no, it should not be. All the module outcome should be in line with the lecture outcome. Lecture outcome will be in line with the module. So this all outcome should be in line with the CO of the particular subject. Okay, particular module, particular subject, particular lecture. Now test item, how we are going to measure the performance? How we are going to evaluate them? So that's what I said. We have to give the test paper, test question papers. Then we have the problems, assignments, definition, whatever it is. Then how we are going to deliver the construct. So maybe, as I said, maybe chalk and talk. We may give the video content. We can go with the flip class. See, if you go with the flip classroom, students will learn lot many things here because they want to answer. They will read. So whenever they get the time, they will read it. Okay, in lecture, what happens sometimes? If they miss a lecture, they may not understand. So video content will be more better. Then group quiz we have to ask. Then we have to go with the assignment. We may go with the guest lecture, industrial visits, so many things. So what resources here is? As I said, lecture notes, always give the video links. Nowadays, all the institutes having their Moodle, ERP. If you don't have, we can use the Google Classroom. Then web resource and links. Okay, now see, two examples I have given here. Learning goals and objectives. Describe what an instructor or program aims to do. Means, instructor means we teachers. So this is teacher centric. Example, this course will expose students to measure design methods of the area. That's what I said, area of a triangle. Students will learn to do, for example, simulation. So here we are using some software. Many, for example, if there are commerce faculty, they can use the commerce. Even MATLAB is very good for the commerce also. So then we have the learning outcomes. This is the learner centric, means the student centric. This is teacher centric. This is learner centric. So given the specification for an auditorium or a studio requirement. So for example, one example I have given here, auditorium requirement. Okay, we have 5 auditoriums. So each auditorium has the different capacity, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Now I want to conduct the seminar of the 500 students. So how we are going to select? So give some requirements for them. Then ask them to design. In this way, we have to give them the assignments. Not simple assignments should be given. Then we can give the AC circuits, we can give the simulations, we can give the simulation MATLAB programs, anything should be given as an example. Then instructional objectives, course outcomes. So here statements of something which is specific, measurable and achievable. In the previous slide also I have given. Whatever we have going to give, it should be a specific. Whatever the specific things we have measured, it should be a measurable. And if it is a measurable, it must be achievable. We may not give which is not achievable. So whatever we are giving, it should be achievable. How we are going to achieve that, we have to measure. To measure the things, we should be specific to the problem. So that's what they all are correlated with each other. So that student should be able to do after receiving instructions on it. So this is all learner centric. Then CO statement must feature the performance component, the condition, then the criteria. So this is what how we have to go for the framing of the CO. Then action oriented statements. Describe what is to be achieved. Okay. So it should be verbs must be needed in there. So describe what should be achieved. That's what I said. Don't give the things which are not achievable. Give the things which are achievable. How we are going to achieve that measure? To measure that, what specific should be given. Related to intended learning outcomes. The process of achieving those outcomes, for example. Then we have the specific and measurable. I'll go with the next slide so that it will be better. Then the performance component. So performance describe what the learners is expected to do, able to do, or able to demonstrate after the particular content. Okay, I have taken first lecture. What he can do, what he can demonstrate from that. I said, okay, I have given the numerical on program of integration. So how to measure their demo outcome? Give them an assignment to go with the another programming in a different way. For example, you have given an area of a rectangle, give them an area of a triangle. So we have to change what we teach, give the assignment in such a way that correlate the assignment with the teach. Don't give the direct assignment. Performance may be overt, where it can be readily seen. Performance may be not covered, that is not visible here. Now we have criteria. Then condition component, we have the criteria component. Help to gauge the quality of the performance. See, we should always maintain the quality. Then only students are beneficial. Students are beneficial, we are beneficial. We are beneficial, employer beneficial. So it is a ring topology, each other. So a standard against which to judge. Then students will know if they have met the particular outcome. For example, I have given in one module, you are going to get the outcome of this. So the student should get that. Expectation should be clear. Then this component tells the learner how often, how well, how much, how will. So all we know, whenever we are teaching the topic, we should put all W's and how, where, when, how. So put them. So ask them the questions, where you are going to use it, how you are going to use this, like that. Then the Bloom's taxonomy, cognitive domain. Sir,
Yes, madam.
can I continue?
Yes,
Or
madam.
Yes.
Continue, madam, please.
okay. So why we are going to Bloom's taxonomy? Maybe knowing the Bloom's taxonomy, we have a triangle. We have a triangle in the upper level. So level will be improved. On top, what should we get? So that's what the Bloom's taxonomy is. So to get the cognitive domain, so we have the psychomotor domain also. Involves the action. For example, see, when we are teaching, we see to the student's face. Always there will be a question mark if they don't understand. So see to that psychomotor domain. Then have the affective domain, involves feeling, attitudes. Then cognitive domain, thinking skill should be developed. That is knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis of the things, evaluation of the things. These all we should take care. Then the Bloom taxonomy, what we are going to get from that. So cognitive level, most involved in higher education. Even whenever we are framing the question also, we look into this. We look into the cognitive. Design, for example. We don't say just build, design, analyze. So this should be there. Then only the students, what we can say, knowledge will be enhanced in a particular way. So here it includes all learning that deal with recall, the recognition, development of the intellectual abilities and their skills. So when we go with the skills, these all should be developed. Then only they can enhance their skills. Systematic planning for teaching. That's what we saw in the previous slides. Course. Under the course we have a modules. Under the course we have a lecture. Under the lecture we have the teaching plan. So it should be designed very nicely. We should give the planning of our lecture to the students in advance. So there must be a systematic planning of teaching, and also I'll show whenever I go to the teaching, here we have a internal evaluation. We have a relative grading. When we enter to the first class itself, I'll give the evaluation. This is your evaluation pattern. So this is how I'm going to evaluate. I'm going to conduct midterm 1, midterm 2. I'm going to conduct the test. I'm going to have the projects. So everything should be in advance given to the students at macro as well as micro level. Then we can write the curriculum of any course in terms of observable student performance. They are known as a specific objectives, instructional objectives, or we can call it as an COs. We can plan teaching learning strategy in keeping with our objectives. So what is main aim? We should meet our objectives. So plan in such that we meet these objectives. We can plan our assessment also. Okay, this is about the teaching learning. Then how we are going to evaluate them? Then plan our assessment and evaluation strategies to match the instructional objectives. If you say yes, I can show our evaluation pattern also. Then examples of learning objectives. For example, here I have stated two questions. So as I said, we have to there should be a observable action, there must be a measurable criteria, then condition of a performance. Let us see one example, simple. The question is, write a customer reply letter with no spelling mistakes by using a word processor. So what we are going to observe here is customer letter. This is the what we are going to, because reply to the customer letter, this is what we are observing. What we are measuring, there should not be spelling mistakes, that we are going to measure. Measurable criteria is without no spelling mistakes. Condition for performance is what condition? We have to use this using a word processor is the condition, the condition of the performance. This is first one. I'll give you one more example. Here we have the copy table from spreadsheet into a word processor, then document within 3 minutes without reference to the manual. See here, what is the observable action? We have to copy a table from a spreadsheet into the word process document. What is the measurable criteria? Within 3 minutes, the student should perform. What is the condition for that? We have to without reference to the manual. This is how we are going to go with the examples of learning objectives. So again, there are a few more examples I have given here. Now, outcome not learner centric. So here, to provide students necessary background to analyze the language processor, then apply the basic concept of electronics. So how we are going to measure? To understand, so these are all are Bloom's taxonomy. Understand, then apply, design, skill. So we have to look into that. To understand and to identify, use SQL. So these are some programming concepts. Use SQL to query, update and manage the database. Then students must be able to understand and describe the feature of internet. How? For example, in computer network is one subject. There we are going to have the last module, www. So before www, World Wide Web, we have to go with all how the data is transmitted. How the data is transmitted by using wire, that is Ethernet, by using wireless, distance. So this is how we have to go one by one step. Then we should be able to demonstrate the skills. As I said, we must be able to demonstrate the skills, because finally we are enhancing the skills of the students. We are making the students industry ready. So able to demonstrate the skills of developing semantic web applications using, okay, this is web application. These are some examples I have given. Then for example, apprise the microcontroller architecture. So what is the microprocessor architecture that we have to give? Then cognitive level is not proper for course outcome. So for example, see, define a big data. So definition is not the proper outcome of that. So define the phrases, never give define and all. So investigate the operations. So explain the basic architecture. So this all, they won't give proper outcome. So the question should not be framed like this. That's what the cognitive level is not proper for the course outcome, this level. So as I said here, how the outcome will be achieved, how it should be proper. For example, design, analyze. So then only we can get the course outcome. Then outcomes are measurable but not achievable. What I said in the previous slides, whatever we are going to that must be a measurable. Induction motor operate. How? What is the criteria? So that must be given here. Conceive real-time projects. Apply the concept of the data. Evaluate the circuits. Which circuits here? So always we should give in such a way that they must be measurable, but not achievable should not be given. So how the course outcomes are measurable but not specific. Some examples I have given. For example, the course outcomes I have given. Compute different parameters like surface or potential related to EM waves, problem using numerical methods. So what we are going to measure here? Nothing we are going to measure. So these are some examples of the course outcomes are measurable but they are not specific. See here, compute different parameters like surface potential. So are we going to measure the surface parameters in 1 year? in 1 week, in 1 day, or in 1 hour. Give that, be specific. So it should be a specific in such a way that it should be a measurable. So it should be a measurable, it should be achievable, it should be a condition to achieve what we are going to give. So these are some examples I have given. Okay. Now come to the cognitive level of domain specific program outcome. So domain, computer domain, electronic domain. So cognitive level, domain specific program outcomes. See, we have these all PO1, PO2, PO3. So first one is the engineering knowledge. I think you all know this. Analysis, design. So here applications. So here solve. For example, we have to use the knowledge, apply the knowledge of the mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals and an engineering specialization to solution of the complex engineering problems. There are 12 POs. So how we have to frame a question on this to, if you want to achieve this, then we have to go with the ask them to solve. Similarly, here we have the problem analysis. We have to analyze the problem. Then design the problem. Okay, this is how we are going to frame the sentence by using these words. So PO4, analyze and synthesis. Then modern tool usage, we have to use the create, evaluate. Then we have, so this is how we are going to frame the questions. Then course outcomes, then the program outcomes, how they are going to match. Domain specific, then the domain independent. So we have specific and we have independent. Then we have slight, moderate and substantially high. So we have to always first give the low, then the moderate, then achieve the high value. So this is how we are going to achieve the course outcome. For example, given the specification of acoustic room, for example, I said in the previous example, we are going to book a auditorium. So give them a condition, specific condition. What I said, 100 students capacity. I said 500 students we are going to go for the seminar. Can I book 100? No. So give the specific things here. Give the specification of an acoustic room. Determine the reverberation time, mean free path, number of reflections per second. So these are some examples according to what we are going to give. Then given the specification for auditorium or a studio requirement, list the acoustic requirement and design the acoustic part of the auditorium or the studio. So this is how. Then we have to give the marks. Okay, we have met. Out of 3, I am going to give the 2 marks. Then okay, it's the PSO matches with the 2, give them 3 marks. So it won't match here. Then we can give the 0 marks. This is the course matrix we are going to develop. Then understanding PO, PSO and CO. To apply gained knowledge, so once we syllabus is completed or the module is completed or the lecture is completed, whatever, apply the gained knowledge and training to analyze and solve the real world engagement engineering problems. So what I said, I have given an example, car parking. So we have to see the car parking problems. So what are the societal problems? Look into that and solve that. Then second PO2 is to inculcate the ethical. So nowadays ethical, we have to teach a lot to the students. To inculcate ethical, socio-economic and professional practices in an organization. Then PO3 will be to meet the global expectations of an industry. Finally, we are giving our students to the industry. So this is what it says, how we are going to meet the industry requirements, how we are going to inculcate the skills in our students so that they can meet the industry requirement. Then the PO4, it will give the respond the demands of the society for sustainable development. So this is about some example I have given in Unit 1 like this, Unit 2. Some examples I have given over here. Then again the same, CO1, CO2, CO3, CO4, CO6. Then the Units 5 and 6. For example, Unit 5 is going to meet all this. Unit 6 may meet this. Unit 6 may meet only 1, 2. So this is what we have designed. In the previous slide I said, the Module 1 or the Unit 1 may reach the only 1 CO or more than that. So this is how we have to see. Finally, focus on the outcome. Focus on the outcome and the skill. This is what we have to do. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for your informative talk on the topic outcome-based education framework. Now I request dear attendees, please, if you have any query, please come ahead and discuss with madam. Please. I mean, the topic shall explain it very clearly and sincerely. No point shall left and no thing is there that we have understood. So it's very clear you have presented, madam. Now I would like to request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M.M. Betkar sir. Please share some concluding words for us, please.
Thank you, Prashant sir. And today's resource person, Dr. Maheshwari Biradar madam, who is from International University D.Y. Patil, Pune. Today's topic, she have chosen about the outcome-based education framework. It's related to our education system, not only for the engineering but all the education. Those who are working in that field, they should try, plan and use this technology and this strategy so that we can achieve our aimed target. Our outcome will be like this to have progressive one. So the examples given by you for different course outcome, program outcome, so all these are useful for everyone. How we evaluate the students, how different techniques are used, how this our mathematics is useful in the corona period, applicability of our topic. So these points are so much useful for us arts, commerce, science teachers also. They should plan.
Yes.
They should go ahead. They should evaluate students properly, and they will give the course outcome, program outcome satisfactory, so that student will have a bright future for that. So thank you madam, to you and all your colleagues, those who are joined here from engineering faculty. In future also you are also welcome on various education topics as per your preparation. Thank you madam.
Thank you so much. If you have any queries, please you can note down my number. Just I'll put it in a chat. I'll put a mail here.
Dr. Shannon Sukla sir, please speak what you want to discuss.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Wonderful topic. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So wonderful topic, and really this is now a vital force in our teaching and education that we should focus on, and NAP is also going to the same part.
Yes.
And very recently our institute has done NAC, and over there all this program outcome and course outcome, they are the very valuable things they are present. And definitely what you said in your content is really applicable, and many of the times it happens the teaching technology methodologies and teaching ways are very important nowadays.
Yes.
We cannot go with the a few years back or maybe decade back what the technology we were using, like lecture, didactics lectures. So now we have to be very much oriented, the group discussions, the group activities. Even the students can do a mentor-mentee. They can become mentor and they can taught the juniors or some newcomers. So that is also, and many of the times it gives more meaning because there is a discussion also, there is a dialogue also from both the sides, and there is a learning experience. And what you said correctly, that cognitive, psychomotor and affective domain belongs to medical field. So usually when we are talking about the clinical practices, it has a great meaning. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your presentation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Swanal Shukla, sir. And thanks to Honorable Principal, sir, for giving us some words for us. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya, Ausa, organized a world record series to For today's session, the keynote speaker was with us Dr. Maheshwari Biradar Madam. She talked about the topic outcome-based education framework. Where Madam have expressed all those points, how to make an effective teachings, what we have to teach, how deep we have to go. Then the teacher must be cross-checks. Now this is one new point to us. Then course level practice problems, course modules, then assessment tools, objective and outcomes. Now these are the points I have covered in a lecture. So I am very, very thankful to you, madam. I express my sincere gratitude to you for delivering a wonderful lecture to us. Thank you very much. Now I sincerely thanks to Honorable Principal Sir, Dr. M. Ambedkar Sir, for share some thoughts to us. Then I thanks to Dr. Swanil Shukla Sir, who have asked some questions, shared some views to us. Thanks to you. Then some of the colleagues from my college, I thanks to you. And lastly, I thanks everybody, those who are joins to the series regularly on time. Basically, I am seeing on the screens Dr. Sonu Kumar Sir. Thanks to you, sir, and regularly dear participants. So thanks to you all. Now I declare that today's session is over here. But request to you, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. Then you will get your certificates. So thanks a lot, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, I have given my mail ID. You can please mail to me. I'm here to help you out.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Can I leave, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, madam.
एक बात जरूर बोलना चाहूंगा डिस्कस सर को कि सर आप इतना मतलब ये टॉपिक होता है, आप ऐसे ऐसे लोगों को लाकर मतलब ऐसे ऐसे विद्वान जनों को ला करके हम लोगों को इस तरह से लाभान्वित करवा रहे हैं, मगर मैं लगातार जुड़ रहा हूँ आपसे। अब मैंने देखा आज महेश्वरी मैम का प्रेजेंटेशन देखकर मुझे लग रहा था कि मैं भले ही मेरे साथ नेटवर्क की समस्या आई थी, मगर मैंने कान में लीड लगा रहा और इतने अच्छे से मैम समझा रही थी। सबसे बड़ी बात है सर कि आपके जो चैनल है ना, वो मैंने कल आज किसी को लिंक मैंने भेजा बिहार के किसी प्रोफेसर के पास, वो आपके चैनल को अच्छे तरीके से शायद उन्होंने देखा था। उनके जो इंफॉर्मेटिव था, वो कल का जो सेशन हुआ था वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था उनके लिए। वो विषय मैंने पोस्टर को लगाया स्टेटस में, उन्होंने मुझे मैसेज किया कि सोनू उसका यूट्यूब पे अपडेट है क्या, मैंने उन्हें तुरंत भेजा। प्रेजेंटेशन देने से और सबसे बड़ी बात यूट्यूब पर अवेलेबल है। और महेश्वरी मैम अगर कभी भी अगर हम नहीं पता मुझे मगर मुलाकात होगी या नहीं होगी, मगर आभासी माध्यम से मैं मिला हूँ, मैं पटना बिहार से जुड़ा हूँ और मैं मास कम्युनिकेशन का विद्यार्थी हूँ, मैं इसी वर्ष उत्तीर्ण भी हुआ। मगर मैम इतने अच्छा आपने जानकारी दिया, इतने अच्छे से बताया, मुझे सर का लेक्चर इतना मतलब जो जमीन से जुड़ा हुआ चीज होता है ना, वो लाकर यहाँ पर पटक देते हैं। और यहाँ पटकने के बाद उसके बाद मुझे लगता है कि यहाँ जो सीखने के लिए मिल जाता है शायद कहीं भी अवेलेबल नहीं हो पाएगा। ये प्रत्येक दिन सीरीज चला रहे, प्रत्येक दिन। तो मैंने सोचा कि अम्बेडकर सर से मैं पूछूं कि इतने अच्छे अच्छे विषयों को वो चूज कर रहे हैं। कल एक जो नया टेक्नोलॉजी AI पे इन्होंने कार्यक्रम करवाया, इतने अच्छे से उन्होंने बताया। और आज आपने मैम जो जितना डिटेल आपने, मैंने सबसे बड़ा आपका चेहरे का रिएक्शन देख रहा था। आप प्रेजेंटेशन पे इतने जबरदस्त तरीके से फोकस कर रही थी बताने के लिए, तो मुझे लग रहा था कि मतलब इतना अजीब लग रहा था कि मुझे साक्षात मेरे सामने उस प्रेजेंटेशन को आप लेकर के रख रहे हैं। तो ये बहुत बारीकी चीज है। मैं तो बहुत छोटा हूँ, मैं सीखने लायक हूँ, आप लोग के बीच आता हूँ, इस यज्ञ में प्रत्येक दिन शामिल होता हूँ। मैं समझता हूँ कि मैं अगर 1 घंटे किसी अन्य लोगों के साथ गुजारूं, उससे बेहतर है कि मैं यहाँ पे बैठूं। और यहाँ बैठकर जो 1 घंटा जो सीखने को मिलेगा शायद कहीं नहीं मिल पाता। ये कोरोना काल का सबसे बड़ा देन है कि ऑनलाइन सेशन होने से हम लोग घर बैठे बैठे कुछ नए चीज को अर्न कर पा रहे हैं। और ये नहीं लगता है कि सर महाराष्ट्र में है और आप दिल्ली में, मैं बिहार में। मुझे एक लगता है कि मैं अपने देश में और अपने देश में रहकर अपने देश की बातों को सीख रहा हूँ। और हमारे देश में वासुदेव कुटुंबकम की बातें होती है, वो साक्षात ये कोरोना काल ने ये पूरा कर दिया है, ये अवसर ये टेक्नोलॉजी को दे करके। इसके लिए महेश्वरी मैम, मैं दूर से हूँ, चरण स्पर्श आपका करता हूँ, मैं छोटा हूँ इसलिए। धन्यवाद।
At any time I am there to help you.
धन्यवाद सोनू जी, जुड़ते रहिए और आपने ये नॉलेज का सब तरफ आप प्रसार कीजिए। आप पत्रकार है, डेली जुड़ते हैं, इच्छा से सब सुनते हैं और ईमान भी देते हैं। थैंक यू, आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। ठीक है मैडम।
Will leave, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam.
With the feedback, good feedback. Again, I may come up with so many topics.
Yes.
I'm ready to deliver now.
Always welcome, madam. Always welcome.
Most welcome, madam. Please.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.